Question from the panel, and Woody Rucker-Hughes, it's you.
Certainly. Gentlemen, the Riverside Renaissance cost has increased from $700 million to approximately $1.4 billion. Where is the additional revenue coming from to pay the costs, and how do you hold management accountable for performance?
Okay, we'll begin with Art Gage, 90 seconds.
Well, there's advantages of being an incumbent, and there's disadvantages of being an incumbent sometimes. First of all, Woody, as of yesterday, our city manager's office said we're at about $1.8 billion now. That was not the plan when we started. Certainly, we are fixing infrastructure. It has to be done, and it is being done. I don't think this is going to be done in 5 years. I don't think there's any possible way. If we could do it, it would be great, but the economy is slowing down. We need accountability from the city manager's office. I've been trying to get the review of the real financial aspect of this done. The city's council's development committee is the one that oversees all this. They are not bringing that information forward. They're going to have to do it because we are not going to be able to accomplish it. Can the city staff get this project done? I think over time, yes. Is there anything in there that shouldn't be in there? Maybe a few things, but we cannot ignore our water system. We can't ignore our electric system. We can't ignore the streets. I challenge anybody to come up with anything in there that we really don't need, except maybe a total redo of the downtown mall. That I'm still having a little concern about. Everything else are projects that the city should have done years ago, and now we have to do it. But I think we have to be a little more realistic in the time frame than what was set forward.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bailey, you have 90 seconds.
Well, the Renaissance, how do you vote against it? You don't if you want to get reelected. It's a capital improvement plan, and as they have mentioned, it's a 5-year plan. Well, what's next? What's next? That's my charge to Riverside is, where's our vision for the next 30 years when it comes to Renaissance? What is the definition of Renaissance? It's an awakening of arts, architecture, and literature. Is that a capital improvement plan? We obviously sorely need that public infrastructure. We obviously need sidewalks, curbs, and gutters. And we're getting back to good. But to be a great city, we have to have a vision 30 years down the line of what's next for Riverside. What's the next workforce? It's not built on the housing stock. It's got to be built on a different economy. And so we have to go after that. Development fees and bonds, I don't think that that's going to get us to $1.8 billion 5 or 6 or 10 years down the road. We got to leverage our resources. Leverage them with the school district, with the state, with the federal government. The school district has parks that are sitting there in the course of elementary schools, 43 of them in the city that we should leverage and make public parks and open up so that the kids can enjoy them instead of lock them down on the weekends and after school. And then we wouldn't have to build more parks. So as a future city council person, hopefully, that's what I would do. Leverage our resources, collaborate with other entities, both at the local level, regional, and national level.
Mr. Gage, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Well, our resources are being leveraged, and my concern is we're leveraging them too much. We're going to have to pay all this back, or a good portion of it. A lot of it are coming from bonds, clearly, that state bonds where they give us money. We have fees in place, TUMP fees, RCTC, it goes on and on. But this is a major, major project. Even if we can leverage it to 75%, we're still looking at about $500 million that's going to come out of your pockets and mine.
Okay, Mr. Bailey? 30 seconds.
For our ward, how can you have a Renaissance without books is my motto. The Marcy Branch Library has sat unimproved for my lifetime, and that's a project that I would gladly take on as my daughter enjoys it, but there's not enough space to go down and for the reading room, for story time, there's just not enough space. The employees are packed in there. So when we go to the next level in a Renaissance, I'd like to work on the Marcy Branch Library.
Okay.